Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome back to some more Minecraft survival here in my single player world, where last episode we built a base inside of an iceberg, which is this one right here, and a lot of you guys seem to really like it, so thank you for all the wonderful feedback as always. And if you missed last episode and want to look on the inside, well, unfortunately you're gonna have to go back to last episode to watch it, because I have stuff to get on with for today, which is actually going to be not building a base. We are instead going to be building something around a certain white and fluffy creature. The sheep, of course. What else were you thinking? So today I would like to build a fully automatic wool farm, because currently if I need wool in my world, I either shear these guys, which works well for white wool, or my other solution is to use string to make wool, which also makes white wool again. I didn't really have a good access to colored wool, which is what I would like to change today. So we're going to be building sort of 16 automatic wool farms, one sheep for every color of dye in the game. So we're actually going to be building this farm on the surface today, instead of just shoving it underground like I usually do with my builds when it comes to farming, because more often than not the farm design is ugly. Today I would like to try and make it look good if that's possible, so I've got a build in mind and it's pretty large. It's actually really quite big for an overworld farm design, and the first location I scouted out was just here on this hill face where you can see all of the stone, but I'm not actually going to be building it here, just because I think if I was to do that I would have to get rid of all of this grass that you can see and kind of bring it down to the level of the cave, and it just seems like a lot of terraforming, because I've actually found a better spot just over here past my house, past the barn, and then round this mountain. I found a much larger hill face right there, as you can see, and I know it's a bit dark here, apologies for that. I'm going to go to bed in a second, gotta watch my back for creepers, but as you can see here, that is a much bigger space and is much more well suited to the build that we're going to be doing, and is also still close enough to my starter house, so if I am choosing to AFK, it should still be in loading distance and the wool will continue to be shared. There we go, night has been slept away and we are now ready to start work here. Still checking my back for creepers because I can see burning mobs. Don't want to get blown up on camera. B, what are you doing? You're so far away from home. Silly guy, at least he's not drowning in the ocean like a lot of them do. So anyway, the first thing we are going to do here, I think, is to begin with, get rid of this sort of mound of grass and move that out of the way so we got an even smoother surface to build upon, and then probably get up the foundation pillars and maybe the roof, and possibly just dig out a little area. Basically get ourselves suited to actually start building the individual wool farms. Did you guys see the weird shadows at the end of that last clip? We had some magical floating llamas just ascending to the heavens. Don't know quite what went on there, but these guys are most certainly magic. It's definitely not just something weird going on with shaders. They're 100% magic. So anyway, this is, hello B, our general shape all done, and it's pretty large. I'll be honest guys, I did not calculate the size of this or whether it would fit in the location that I picked out. I just kind of assumed that it would, and it did for the most part. I had to do a bit of terraforming here on the side and just bring it up there a little bit behind the roof shape, but that right there is going to be what will house all 16 of our wool farms, which we will start building very shortly. But before we do that, I need to relocate you, Mr. B. Could you actually just pop back inside, please? I would like to go and put you over next to my starter house. This was automatically generated next to one of the trees, as you may have guessed, and I would like to move it over to where the rest of the bees are, if that would be okay with you, B, wherever you are. You up there somewhere? I'll wait for him to come back down and then I'll move it over. As you saw, the beehive has been moved. Hopefully those guys are settling in nicely with the other guys back at my starter base. But we are going to now build these wool farms. So I'm going to show you how to do one of them here on camera and then just copy over the other 15. But I think these are all of the blocks that we need to make this. If it's not, then I guess we'll find out as we're placing down them here. So the first thing we need is our grass and our glass blocks. And then we're just going to have 2 here, and the first one can have a couple of glass blocks on top. And that is so that we're able to regrow this grass, because if I was a sheep, I'd be standing right here chewing up all of this grass, regrowing my wool, and obviously this is to keep the continual growth. And then behind the grass block, to detect whenever it gets eaten, we're going to have an observer detecting that change with a block behind that and a redstone dust on top, and then a dispenser here which will be filled with shears, so whenever this gets eaten it will be instantly sheared. There will be like a split second where it actually has some wool, and after that it will be naked once again. And then we're just going to cover this up with white concrete. Now I'm doing white concrete here for the white sheep, and obviously I'll change up for each color, so the yellow sheep will obviously have yellow concrete. And then just behind here on top of the dispenser we're going to have a sea lantern to provide a little bit of lighting. And now's where it gets a little bit finicky, because obviously we've got the main thing set up, but we don't have a collection system at the moment. So if we just go ahead and get rid of these 3 blocks we've already placed down, and then we're going to grab our spruce trapdoor and rail, and on this block we're just going to place that down and flick it upwards, and pretty much we're going to push our minecart hopper into the block here, and then we can go ahead and grab our piston and our grass block again, break the trapdoor again so that we're actually able to place a block underneath it. And as you can see, once we push that down, the minecart hopper goes all weird, but that's absolutely fine because it's now able to pick up blocks. As you can see, I do need them back, however, so let's sort out a way for the minecart hopper to deposit its items. And to do that, we very simply are just going to add a double chest there with a hopper, and as you can see, all of the items end up in our chest. And finally, we can just go ahead and replace those 2. So that is one farm all done. Obviously changing colors, I'm going to do this 15 more times. Boy oh boy, are minecarts temperamental. The thing I probably spent the longest on doing all of that was putting the minecarts in position. I actually did it like flawlessly this first time. The rest of them, not so much. Basically, if you don't push them the exact way, they go a bit skew with and on an angle, which would work absolutely fine, like it would still go in the hopper. Everything else is just so symmetrical with this build though, I needed them to be as well. So I think we're all good. Hopefully I haven't nudged any. But yeah, we are now done with the bulk of the farm. We only have a few things left to do. One, of course, is to get our sheep in place. I'm sure that will be very fun to do. And then we have to just build a face on it and cover it up with some stone or whatever I'm going to put in there. I'm not exactly sure just yet. And also fill all of our dispensers back here with some shears. So I'm gonna go to bed and then see if I can bring over 16 sheep without a single hitch. Don't think that's gonna happen though. You know, I really should light up the area fully around my starter house here, because it's very often, if I'm trying to go to bed at night time, I have this problem. You may not rest now, there are monsters nearby, and that happens so frequently, I actually set up another bed underground, which I don't believe I've shown any of you, with the exception, maybe some of you have seen it on a live stream, but I sort of have this hidden bedroom around here, this secret doorway, which leads to a nice bed, which actually lets me sleep, and there's no monsters around. So yeah, there's a little fun thing in my base that some of you may never have even seen before. So I was trying something here, and it hasn't gone as expected. As you can see from the items in my hotbar here, the white wool and the raw mutton, I've had some sheep casualties, which obviously isn't very good. Basically, my plan was to make the great sheep-vator, the sheep elevator here with all of these rails, and I was basically gonna, like I've done with these 4, that you'll see in a second, down here, get them all in minecarts at the bottom of the rails, ready to go, and I was going to send them on their way all at once, going to hook them all up to redstone for a very awesome 2-second clip. And I tried for an embarrassingly long time to get a sheep in one of these minecarts. I don't know why these were so easy compared to these ones. Probably something to do with pathfinding. I don't really know. But basically, I'm gonna give up on this. I just wanted to show you the concept of the Great Sheep-Evator. Well, I've got 2 of the 4 sheep on this bottom row in position. We won't talk about what happened to these 2 guys over here, but this is gonna be more difficult than I imagined because I can't really use the minecart method. One, they don't get in for a start, and when they do get out, they either fall into the wall or just do a runner. That's definitely not what happened with those 2 over there at all, and I didn't slay them because they were annoying me. No way, Jose. I think we're just gonna have to, like, bring them up with wheat, and then I'm gonna have to kind of pillar up here and get them to be trapped. I honestly have no idea how I'm gonna do this. It's probably gonna take me a long time, but hopefully it's gonna be worth it in the end, because we will get lots and lots of free wool that I don't really know why am I building this actually? I never build with wool other than with carpets every now and again. Okay, come on sheep, you're with me. We figured out a way to do this bottom layer. No idea still what I'm doing for the top ones, but we've acquired a wonderful slab, and basically I just unhook you and then very, very quickly push you in position without you running anywhere, seal you off from the rest of the world, break the slab, and there we go. The bottom layer is done. That was the easy one. Am I good with white, grey, and black wool? Or do I really need all these colours? Oh my... Okay, thanks for scaring me there. That actually made me physically jump. Where to go? Where to go? You've made me lose the ability to speak, Wandering Trader. Any good offers? No, as always. Okay, right, now I just need to figure out how on earth to do these top layers. This could actually be super simple. I was trying to think of like a really difficult way to go about this and something that was complicated but worked well. I think this is the best of both worlds because it's not complicated at all, as you can see. And this sheep has followed me up wonderfully, and they shouldn't actually pathfind off of here because it's too high. So if I unhook you, I'm fairly confident you're just going to stay on the stone. And honestly, at that, you're probably not going to go anywhere either. So I can just nudge you guys in position. Okay, sure, you can be the orange sheep. And yes, I know I still need to dye all of these. I will do that once they... No, get back in. Get sheep. I'm not moving. I'm not moving, so you better stop moving. You stop moving? A bit more, please. There we go. Okay. So eventually, you will do that. You will be orange, and you will now be naked because you would have just been sheared. Did you hear the dispenser click? That's basically how the farm works. Okay, cool. We figured it out. That is actually very simple. Shouldn't take me too long. I've wasted a lot of time on this. I should have just done something like this from the get-go. Got my 11 sheep that I have left to get in position. So the sheep farm over here is looking rather empty, but that's honestly a good thing. Less entities the better, really. Even though I am just repositioning them, so I guess it's not really any less. I think I also have a baby in tow. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with you. No, not you. The little baby at the back, he's obviously following his mother. You don't want to be doing that, buddy. Trust me, they are not going to a good place. After a nice swim through the river, we have made it. All 11 sheep, I think, are here. I can always go back and get more. It's not really that long of a journey. But we did lose the baby along the way. I think he's somewhere stranded next to Turtle Island, so maybe he can go live over there with those guys. Oh yes, that is a nice sight to see. And there's the Wandering Trader again. Had to just get in the frame there, didn't you, buddy? So we have all sheep in position. They have all of their respective dyes. At least I think so. Most of you probably know I'm really not good with colors. So please let me know if I've like given them the wrong dye to their concrete color or something like that. It's entirely possible. But yeah, we have them all in place, which is awesome. Didn't take too long at all. And obviously it's not going to look quite this colorful when it's up and running because as I've said a lot, they're going to be bold most of the time. They're not going to have any of their wool to keep them nice and warm because it will be continuously sheared off. So I'm debating with maybe putting their color glass in front of them as well instead of just regular glass, but I think we're going to wait until we've got it sort of finished to see if I want to add that in or not, which is what we're going to work on now. Putting the facade in front of this thing and adding to their extra little windows. So the front face is going to be mainly made out of stone, and I wanted to do that because because, well, we're building into a mountain which is made of stone, so I kind of wanted to keep with the natural feel of building it and integrating it into the hill itself. But we're also going to add in a bit of andesite and cobblestone just to add in a little bit of texture, make it a bit more interesting to look at. That's always a good thing to do instead of just building out of one specific stone type. Mix a couple in, so we've got some andesite splotched in there with no real rhyme or reason, but I've kind of made some cracks with the cobblestone. I think that works pretty well. And then basically, as far as the windows are concerned, we got to bring them out by an extra glass block, and then around each of those glass blocks we're going to have some spruce trap doors to complete their individual windows. So there we go, that is the automatic wool farm all done for the most part. We still have one very important thing left to do. Well, actually there's two. One is to put the shears in the dispenser, because right now it's just a bunch of sheep display cases, I guess. They're not actually being sheared currently, or sheared I should say. But the other very important thing that we have to do is to, well, add in an entranceway, because right now there is no current way for me to actually access any of the chests that will eventually be filled up by all of these sheep's wool. I've added in the entranceway and it's actually on the screen right now. Can any of you see it? What if I go a little bit this way and a little bit more? And then if I zoom in and you look just to the left of my head, or the right of my head, the left of my head, your left, not my left, you can just about see a stone button. So yeah, I thought that was the best thing to do. As you can see, that leads to a nice little alleyway through, which we'll go in and check it out in a second. Something I did debate with doing is turning this 2x2 of stone into a tiny little circle by basically doing some stairs. I don't have any, but doing some upside down stairs and some regular ones here and flying through, but I thought that was just going to be really annoying to do, and I would probably end up just breaking my way in if I was to have that up and running. But yeah, this is our entranceway. We've got the pressure plate to go back out if need be, which certainly will need be. I didn't plan on staying in here forever. But as you can see, this is what I've done on the inside. I haven't covered up any of the actual redstone or the machines here because I kind of like the look of having all the colors on show. I think it looks pretty good. And then I've just added in this going up here so that we can access all 16 chests, which still currently aren't up and running because I still have to put in all of the shears into the dispenser, which is the very last thing to do, which I'm going to go ahead and grab a bunch of iron now. I don't know how much I'm going to need. Hopefully I got enough. I think I'm just going to put 9 in each. 4.5 stacks of ingots is what I need to make all of the shears, which really isn't too bad. I was thinking it was going to be a little bit more. And here we are, the last 18 shears, and then they are all in place. I've heard some snipping of the wool being sheared, so I think everything is up and running, which is fantastic. We'll take a look around the front as soon as I can reach that dispenser at the top there. This top row is pretty tricky, but that's okay. I only need to access the chest, which I can do fairly easily. Did you hear that? That was a sheep being sheared. Let's go check it out. Make sure we got some bold sheep out the front. It's about to get a whole lot less colourful. I think let's stand up here. Did I see a creeper around there? Maybe it was a llama. I'm not sure. It can't really get me anyway, so we should be good. Need to drop down a bit, actually. That's a bit of a leaf in the way. Let's do some parkour, get a bit of a better view, and do we have some bold sheep? Indeed we do. That is wonderful. We've got 3, and yeah, just 3 so far, which is awesome. So we know it's up and running. I may just hang around here for a little bit off camera just to make sure everything is up and running and that all of the sheep are wanting to eat grass. I don't know why they wouldn't, and just make sure all of their wool is being collected. So I'm going to stick around here until we have 16 bold sheep. It's not looking quite as colourful as it did before when they had wool, but that's okay because we know it's all up and running now. I did make one slight change around the back because the grass was taking a really long time to grow. I don't know if it's because I have a grass block on there. Yeah, a glass block on the grass block, sorry. It's taking longer to grow. I don't know. A couple of them did it, but I don't know if that was a fluke or something. So basically what I did, because grass can grow diagonally, I basically just put them all in these spots right here. So I think that is now how it's spreading. It's probably not the most efficient farm, by the way. I should state that. I know I could make it much more efficient if I had more grass blocks around, but I don't want to, because then I can't make it look super cool like this. So that, everybody, is actually gonna be it for this episode. I do apologize. I was hoping to get a bit more done, but I don't really have much time this week. And I do also quickly want to say, in case you missed last week's Techtopia episode, if you don't watch that series or you just missed it perhaps, then there's actually a video schedule change happening to my channel. Basically, every other Saturday there will be a survival episode now, and the other Saturday will have Techtopia. I'm going to put a torch in my hand because it's very dark and you guys can't really see me. And then on a Wednesday we'll have my tutorials or another one-off video, that sort of thing. So yeah, every other Saturday you guys will be getting an episode here in the survival world, which is awesome. I'm very excited for it. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. We will most likely be back doing some work in the village, unless I have another idea of something cool one-off project we can do like this one we did today, which I hope you guys enjoyed very much. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.